This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, up to Sabah. This is Republika. Ako po si Eric Espina. Marhaban kay Falif, kay Falhal, Alhamdulillah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Mamadali po kasi ako dahil gahol po tayo sa oras ngayon. Ano? Ang pag-uusapan po natin ay BBL Inclusivity. Nandito po ang spokesperson ng Sultanate of Sulu, si Abraham Abe Ijirani. Good evening, Abe.
Good evening, Eric, and your listeners. Thank you very much for having us again.
Okay. Straight to the point. Where is the Sultanate of Sulu, the Tausug people, in regards to the BBL?
Well, as far as the general population in the area is concerned,
Yes.
I'm referring to the Bangsa Suluk people, the Bangsa Sul people.
Yes.
They were, from the beginning, wanting to be explained by what BBL means really.
Yes.
And up to now, Eric, the people in the area are in squandary.
Okay.
That's why I believe that 80% of the population in the area are against the BBL, considering that there was no comprehensive, consultation made by either the stakeholders of the BBL, the MILF, and even the government, perhaps.
Even the MNLF was not.
The MNLF, of course, with the participation, I believe, of the MNLF Executive 15 Council, but as far as the MNLF under the Missouri wing
Yes.
is concerned, they are not being made part of this BBL process, and there seems to be not inclusivity of the process since from the beginning of the conceptualization of the BBL by the MILF.
The OIC recognizes Normeswari and not the 15 Executive Council? Just to be clear.
Yes, the Missouri wing is duly recognized by the OIC, not
Okay.
the 15 council members. However, there are also members being invited by the OIC, perhaps in order to trace out and iron out problems if there may be.
Mm-hmm. That's a very huge number. 80% are against BBL. And to think this is supposed to be the flowering, the blossoming of so-called the Moro identity, no?
Yes, I'd like to clarify, Eric. The 80% are for peace
Okay.
process.
Okay.
But the reason of their opposition is that they cannot understand as to what is really the direction of the BBL. Is it really for the entire nation, for the Filipino people, or is there any outside interference being allowed to muddle the peace problem in the area?
Okay. There is a House bill called House Bill 6475. In many of the hearings, if you were invited, were you consulted, were your inputs also part of the House bill being drafted?
Number one, Eric, where the Sulu,
Yes.
under the leadership now of Sultan Pugdalon Kiram II,
Yes.
has never been consulted except during the senatorial what do you call that, during Senator Bongbong Marcos,
Yes.
where different stakeholders from the province of Sulu were invited to attend the committee hearing. Now, we wonder as to why, since that is very easy, for instance, for the lower house to get the records as to those who participated in the committee hearing during Senator Bongbong Marcos' time.
Yes.
So, basing from the records that attended, that will populate the basis of inviting the integral part of the process, like the Sultanate of Sulu, which is a historic
Yes,
institution, and furthermore, the basis of its historical basis become the key foundation of the struggle of the Muslim as far as Sulu archipelago area is concerned. And therefore, it is being proper if the Sultanate of Sulu was invited under the new leadership of the new Speaker of the House,
Yes.
Speaker Alvarez,
Yes.
so that it can iron out, it can voice out their opinions as to what is really their positions regarding the BBR. For instance, Eric, maybe some members of the BBR does not really understand the significance of why Sulu Sea must be written as is, rather than accepting the changing of name from Sulu Sea to the Bangsamoro waters. Now, to us, to the Sultanate of Sulu, under the leadership of Sultan Pugdalon Kiram II, it has legal implication as well as historical implication as far as the Sabah issue is concerned.
So, to be very emphatic about it, the last time you were really considered, your inputs were heard, was during Senator Bongbong Marcos'
Yes,
committee hearings.
yes,
After that,
no more.
no more. Is there a difference in position as far as as far as you've heard, the 15-man MNLF Council vis-a-vis Normi Suarez's position regarding the BBL? Have you heard that there is some kind of incongruency between the positions of both?
Well, there seems to be a big difference, Eric.
Okay.
Although, of course, in some way, the bottom line is about the Tripoli Agreement of 1976.
Yes, yes.
But I may say that Normi Suarez is very concerned about really the intent and purpose of the Tripoli Agreement signed in 1976.
Yes.
Now, rather than using the agreement as a means to appease one group or to get attention in order to be involved in the process. But Ms. Suarez stick to the points in the sense that it is incompatible, the BBL is incompatible to the aspirations of the Bangsamoro people. So that in that way, there is a big question emerging. Can we attain comprehensive solution to the Mindanao problem now that the two armed group, state armed group of the Muslims in Mindanao cannot agree as to the direction of attaining comprehensive peace in the area?
Abe, let me hear that again. Both cannot stay, both in short cannot stay in the same table. As far as they cannot.
It cannot because Ms. Suarez demands for a bigger coverage, whereas the MILF demands for this coverage. However, one of the important points to be considered there is the changing of name of Sulu Sea to the Bangsamoro water. What for, Eric?
Do you therefore see here a contentious fissure between the MNLF and the MILF? That's what we're seeing now. And then the Sultanate of Sulu will also be affected by the position being undertaken by the MILF. Would it be fair to say that it seems that the government is inclined to favor only one side of, which is the MILF?
I am not sure, Paul, but the way you look at the process, the non-intervention of other stakeholders in the area, there seems to be
Exclusivity. There is
an idea of exclusivity,
yes.
rather than the idea of inclusivity.
Okay.
Now, two hearings are not enough. Two hearings are not enough to formulate a permanent kind of law that will govern a certain kind of people.
Sa Tagalog, parang niluluto.
Ganun na nga.
Parang niluluto.
Yes, Eric. I would be agreeable with you, parang niluluto, because important historic institutions, like for instance, the members of the Royal Sultanates of Mindanao, comprising, I think, 12 sultanates, including sub-sultanates, should have been invited.
Even Palawan was under the Sultanate of...
That's right.
Okay. And I heard Palawan will now be part of the Bangsamoro government.
Well,
under a central government, under a chief minister.
Now, you say, Rick, during the time of Normisori, signing of the 1996 Eminelif Accord,
Yes.
now, the inclusion of such passed through referendum or plebiscite.
Yes.
Now, why now? The process is no longer applying the same process in order to attain the cooperation of people, the unity of people towards the process. So, I would say that I don't know if this is being done in order to achieve a certain limit of time in order to satisfy, outside interferences or whatever. But to us, this is not good.
Okay.
Because it is not good in the sense that it is being done without proper consultation made before the people. There might be a consultation, but in one area only. But the general populace in the area are not being consulted. Now, of course, it cannot be done like that. However,
They're being left out, is what you're saying.
However, representative or leaders of each group must be invited. If they cannot, pose their question, they must be informed that this is the kind of BBL that we will have in the future.
Do you know the provisions of the BBL right now?
No,
Not at all.
Not
You
at
have not even been told.
not,
Okay, we're going to pause for a few reminders and then we'll go back to the process. Abraham Ijirani talked about the importance of the process and what this means in the end result when we return.